Never take my sunshine away, sunshine away. Never take my sunshine away, sunshine away. Never take my sunshine away, sunshine away. Never take my. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to NXT with NaJee, a part of the Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast, aka The Whip Show, and also a part of bodyslam.net. We are back with another episode. Super excited about this one. 2 nights ago, at this point when the episode's coming out, NXT was insane. 7 matches. I think that is the highest match count that we've had on that show for a very, very long time. And as per usual, I am not by myself. This time, I have a brand new super fan with me. She is the queen of the Tonga Girl Task Force. Tama Tonga's #1 fan. Great human being. Always there on Twitter to make people feel good about themselves and, share the vibes. So, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Miss Jess. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, thanks for having me. Very excited.
I have no sound coming through my headphones for some reason right now. Don't bueno. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, folks that are watching. Don't know why it's being complicated. Oh, that's why. All right, we're back. Apparently, I accidentally hit the mute button, y'all. Rookie mistake on my fault. But what's up, Jess? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So if you would like to tell people a little bit about, what your page is about, how you became a fan of NXT before we get into the matches.
Yeah, so I'm all over Twitter tweeting about Tama. My husband and I started watching NXT in 2023, so relatively new. But we got back into wrestling and we wanted to watch everything WWE, so we started watching NXT, fell in love with it. It was our favorite brand for a while, so we got to see Stand and Deliver in 2024, which was awesome. But yeah, so
I was there too.
Yeah, I was second row.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, just like the tweet about wrestling, fitness, being positive, a lot of negativity on there. So
yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, well, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show, and thank you for sharing your origin story. Sorry, I was struggling with words there for a second. All right, so now we're gonna dive into this episode of NXT that just happened this past Tuesday. Like I said, a lot going on. There were 7 matches. Ton of things to talk about here, and every single match was really good, even the extremely short one that we'll get to in a little bit. But we are going to start off with the tag team championship match. You have Dark State with Osiris and Saquon against Brad Baylor and Ricky Swipe Right for the tag team championships. Dark State kind of made a little bit of a mistake here. I think they underestimated Swipe Right going into the match, and even during the match, you could see they weren't taking them very serious. Dark State starts off pretty strong, literally just beating both of these guys up, barely giving them a chance to do anything offensively. Before, of course, Jackson Drake gets involved like he always does, and then a surprise involvement from Tony D that gets us to the finish of the match, where, believe it or not, and new tag team champion Swipe Right and the Vanity Project has all the gold. Well, silver, I guess, if you want to be precise. How are you feeling about this call here to put the titles on Swipe Right?
So it got spoiled. We were a little behind last night, and I just happened to open up Twitter and I saw one of my friends was reacting. I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" So I was surprised, but when I saw what happened, I was like, "Okay, I'm not as like, what is going on?" Made sense, right? They called out Tony and kind of messed with him, so he said he was gonna take everything from them. They also didn't take him very seriously, so I think they made a little mistake there, underestimating everyone. But I do like Swipe Right. I didn't at first.
Yeah, they grew on me too.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, who are these kids? And now I'm like, dude, they're so funny.
Oh, we heckled them so bad when we used to go to the Evolve tapings when they first got there. We gave them some pretty serious heat, but they're fantastic. I think they won me over during WrestleMania week last year when they did the WWE ID showcase in Vegas. I think that's what kind of made me go, you know what, these guys are all right.
Yeah,
All right.
very
So
talented.
yeah, and congratulations. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough here. Congratulations goes out to Swipe Right, and shout out to the Vanity Project for holding 3 belts. That's pretty cool for people who just literally just got to NXT. Like they've been putting the work in other places too. But congratulations, congratulations. All right, so now we're gonna go to match number 2. You got Keanu Carver versus Sean Legacy. Great match. Very physical. I'll say that to say the least.
Yeah.
Very, very physical. I think they still did a good job at making Sean look great, even though he did end up losing to Keanu. They didn't want to bury him, uh, but he's still good. And my question for you about this is like, what do you think that they're gonna do with Keanu to make him be different from Oba? Because I feel like you don't want them to duplicate the same thing with a similar superstar.
Yeah, I was talking to my husband about that last night because I was like, I like the way that the match went. I was afraid it was going to be maybe like a squash, and I really like Sean, so I was like, oh no, I don't want him to just get like beat up in 5 seconds here. So I think they did a great job kind of showcasing both. But I'm not sure. Like I am very curious, like what they're going to do with Keanu to make him different. Yeah, I think it might just come down to the personality and promo that he gets to
Mm-hmm.
show. I don't think he's, obviously he's had a bit of like, hey, I'm going to mess up everything and cause a scene, but I don't think he's gotten a chance yet to really like show who he is. And I think that's where it's just going to come down to like that personality split between
Mm-hmm.
him and Oba.
Yeah, because they're almost polar opposites in a way. Like Oba was extremely confident, but would still follow the rules. Wasn't really like a rule breaker too much
Yeah.
because nothing was happening long enough for him to really have to follow any rules because he was just dominating. And then with Keanu, it's like he just doesn't care. Like he's like, I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm gonna do it however I want to do it. Yeah. So I hope that they keep that up. I really hope
Yeah.
that the writers figure it out with him and we don't end up losing something incredible just because they didn't know how to be creative. All right, so now we're gonna go to match number 3. Match number 3 was a triple threat for the Speed Championship, 7 minutes long. I think this is the first time they've ever done that. I think it's the first time it's ever been a triple threat match. But you got Elio LaFleur against Eli Knight against Jasper Troy. How are you feeling about this one going into it? Did you like the fact that they made it a triple threat? Because Booker T just kept bashing it the whole entire time.
I love Book, but yeah, he's going in there. I thought it was like more interesting. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I don't like the speed matches, but it's easy to sort of like lose focus because it's only 3 minutes. So it's just kind of like, okay, a lot of stuff's going on. If I like look down for a couple of seconds, I feel like I missed the match. So when I saw that this was gonna be 7 minutes and a triple threat, I was a little bit more interested to be like, okay, like how are they gonna do this? What's the outcome gonna look like? Because now you have 3 people with a time limit. I think they did a really good job. It was an exciting match. I think it kept my focus. Like I said, I get distracted.
Yeah, they did a good job at like making it believable that it was 2 small guys against 1 big guy. Like obviously they try to jump him at one point in time. Obviously Jasper had his moment where he took them both out. The way it was just formatted all together was really good. It was just two Davids against 1 Goliath.
Yeah.
And you were just trying to figure out which one was going to come out on top. And in the sneakiest format and fashion possible, Elio ends up winning and becoming your new speed champion, literally just riding off of an Eli Knight finisher. Like just slid right in there, took the pin and won it, and just took it straight from Eli. So I think that that's going to be, or not, yeah, Eli. I think that that's going to end up being like the beef and confrontation down the line between them two, because it's already there. You saw it in the semifinals match, so why not run it back?
Yeah,
why not?
I think they built something good there where you can kind of build from that and say like, okay, like I was gonna do that. I hit kind of like it was like a recoil there. Went back and whoop, slid right in.
That's beautiful, beautiful stuff. That's a good way. That's what I mean by you gotta take advantage of every opportunity. And Elio did exactly that. So congratulations to Elio LaFleur on becoming the new WWE Speed Champion. Now we're gonna move on to the quickest match of the night, even faster than the speed match that's coming up right after this. We have for the women's championship, you got JC Jane versus Sol Ruka. People have been waiting for this match for a long time. And what happened in the match we had been waiting for even longer. The second she put like the second the introductions were over with, they cut the camera back and Zarya just spears the hell out of Soul and then picks her up, hits her with an F5 and says, good luck, and slides out. JC makes the match start because Soul still gives a thumbs up to the ref. JC absolutely just destroys Soul with her back fist or backhand, whatever it is, gets the 3 count, and Zarya just continues to beat the hell out of Soul. But congratulations to JC. I know. The only reason we laugh and the only reason we get so like into it is because this has been like a year that all of this has been building up, and it finally happened.
I yelled last week. I was like at Zarya, I'm like, why did you just forgive her? I'm like, this is so dumb. And then as they were coming out last night, I'm like, something feels off. Like, I don't trust this.
She was smirking a little too much.
It was a little too get along-y. It was too quick of a apology. Like, okay, I'll forgive you. I'm like, I don't trust this.
But it finally happened. The turn we were all waiting for. We were just trying to figure out if it was going to be Soul who turned or if Zarya just had enough of it. But after this match and after everything, Zarya walks up to JC and is like, since I just helped you, help me out. Give me a title shot next week. So next week, Zarya's got her chance. I'm curious if Soul's going to interfere or if Zarya pulls off the big one. What are you feeling? What do you think is going to happen there?
I'm hoping that Soul doesn't. If she truly is Zarya's friend, maybe she will forgive her for what she did and kind of let her have her moment. But yeah, I'm hoping that it's clean, and I would love to see Zarya win. She's such a good talent, and I was very excited when she got signed. So I'd like to see her be able to kind of showcase herself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a bad idea for Stand and Deliver to have Zarya with the belt going against Soul. That would be, I'm here for that.
Be great.
Amazing, because more than likely it's going to be Ricky and Joe. I don't know why I feel like that's Ricky, Joe, and Tony will probably be the match for Stand and Deliver for the men's, and then I would be A-okay with Soul and Zarya. Perfect. In a perfect world. But all right, so now we are moving on to the next match, which is match number 5. It's for the women's speed tournament. You got Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe, the rematch that everybody's been waiting on, because you know what happened last time with Blake taking the L to Thea, and a lot of people are still talking about that and still very surprised about that. But this match basically is the same thing. It's a speed match. You only get 3 minutes. Within the first minute, something crazy happens. Thea starts off very strong. Blake slides out of the ring. Thea, I guess, is conversating with the ref about whatever, and Jada Parker comes and knocks Blake right out, throws Blake back in the ring. Thea hits her finisher, and within 2 minutes, Thea has beat Blake again. And now is moving on in the speed tournament to where she will face either Ren Sinclair or Nikita Lyons, whoever wins that one next week, to see who moves on. So how are you feeling about this whole Blake Monroe story now? Because it seems like it's just been all over the place ever since she accidentally lost that title.
Yeah, I think they did a good job kind of like pivoting from what happened. And I kind of like the idea of Thea almost being like Blake's kryptonite, like just this one person she can't beat, doesn't matter what's going on. And it's always like, this like kind of quick, sudden win. So I would love if that kind of continues, or that's always just like a little thing for her. And I was also happy to see Jada back because I had heard she had something going on with her neck and I wasn't sure real, not real.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to see her.
Yeah, she wrestled a house show last weekend against Nikita. So like that's why everybody on the internet was like, wait a second. So I'm just gonna assume that maybe like her neck injury just wasn't as bad as they thought. And they were like, oh, you're actually good. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, so, it's like precautionary.
Hopefully that's what it was. Yeah. But we will see what ends up happening here. We'll see if Blake goes anywhere near Thea again after taking 2 L's, and we shall see if maybe this is Thea's opportunity to get another belt. I personally would really like to see Ren go all the way. No disrespect to Nikita, but I just think that it's time for Ren to really get her year and get her time as well. But all right, congratulations to Thea for moving on. We're gonna move on to the next one. The next one is the Chase U drama continues. So this time it's between Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors. I posted this the other day. It's got to be something in that Chase U water. Why they never seem to stay together, like ever?
It's Mr. Chase.
Gotta be.
Bad vibes.
We need Duke back. That's what we need.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that.
Duke was like the foundation there.
MVP.
But man, the end of Chase U again, I guess. Kale started off strong, but Uriah immediately kind of turned the tables and never really let up afterwards. I was really excited to see that they went with Uriah winning this match, just because Kale already stands out. He really
Mhm.
does. Like about 2 or 3 weeks ago when he had that one tag match, or it might have been singles match or a tag match, but he was going crazy. So I think they're just giving them both the chance to show who they are and
Mhm.
let people get a chance to know them more. And with Uriah, I guess this means he's joining the, what is it called, Birthright? Is that their
I
faction that
think
they're
so,
building?
yeah.
Something like that. But I think that's pretty cool. Like it's been a long time since what it was Randy Orton, Cody, and who else? Somebody else. I can't remember who it
Um,
was.
Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like we're reliving that again, but with like
Yeah.
more powerhouse families. Man. So what do you think is going to happen with Chase U? You think Chase U still sticks around, or do you think that it just kind of fizzles into a new group of kids or something? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's time for it to kind of go. Like I was actually expecting it to go once like the and all of that kind of happened. So I was surprised when they were kind of reviving it. And I was like, no, like let's move on from this. So
Yeah.
I think they should kind of let it die out unless they can kind of figure out, maybe it's a starting point for some talent. It has helped a lot.
Hmm.
And like they had a great match last night. I think it was just like action packed from start to finish. So I thought they both looked great. Gave them a chance to kind of showcase. So maybe it can kind of be like a short stint for people. Otherwise, I think it's kind of time to
Yeah.
pack it
Maybe
up.
somebody else creates another university.
Yeah, competing
Maybe.
university.
Yeah, we like it. All right. I'm just curious as to what's gonna happen with Chase at the end of all of this, because it's like what hopefully he doesn't get cut because he's good. But
Yeah,
I could see that if that did happen, unfortunately. All
maybe a
right. So
assistant GM.
hey, that's not a bad idea. Help Rob out. Maybe he becomes the GM since Rob's still the intern.
True.
All right, now we're at the main event. This is great. Great match. Great story building up to the match. Great. Dog Ethan Page has been on fire recently. Like everything he's doing with the Vanity Project, him and Ricky together is a match made in
Hmm.
heaven. It's just good to see. But this is for the North American Championship. As of when this match happened, Ethan Page had actually tied Oba's record. So if he wins this match, he will now be the longest reigning NXT North American champion. But Miles, man, it's a different Miles now. He got a new theme. He's got a new
Hmm.
Titantron, got new gear, got a T-shirt. Everything was pointing and setting itself up in the direction for this to end the way that it did.
Hmm.
So Miles came out aggressive, super strong. You could tell he's throwing punches way different than what he used to. He's still got that baby Randy Orton feel, but now it's kind of like going to the back burner a little bit. Like
Yep.
he's just Miles Bourne now. He's not baby Randy.
Mhm.
So, like I said, Ethan never backed down. Ethan kept coming hard after a while. No, God, that was a crazy statement to make. Sorry. Ethan went hard at Miles for most of the match, but Miles never quit. Miles went through a lot of adversity and issues in this match, even taking a couple of the ego's edges and still kicking out of it. And just when Miles looks like he has the upper hand, from the back comes the Vanity Project again, just like they said they would to help Ethan. But this time they didn't come out alone because Hank and Tank came out to help, and Shiloh Hill came out to help. Um, Towards the end of this match, Ricky Saints is on the turnbuckle, and when I was watching it, I couldn't figure out what he was doing until the final spot happened.
Yeah.
But Joe Hendry ends up coming and getting him. Uh, Miles reverses one of Ethan's moves, which causes Ethan to hit the exposed turnbuckle. So that's what Ricky was actually doing. Then he hits him with the Born Again and shocks the world and becomes your new NXT North American champion. How are you feeling about Miles Bourne with a title?
I'm excited for him. I mean, I love Ethan Page. I think he has been fantastic from his very start. But Miles has been great. He's like really developed as a character, as a wrestler. Like you pointed out, he's kind of like gone through a few iterations, but like this feels more him. It's very unique to him. So I'm very excited for him. But I am sad for Ethan.
Yeah. I wouldn't be sad for Ethan though. I get for me personally because I just feel like he's getting ready to get skyrocketed to the moon like so
I hope
quickly.
so.
I have a hard time seeing him being at NXT at this point next year. Big time. But
Yeah.
congratulations to Miles Bourne. This dude, he's just a great human being altogether. Well deserved. Really cemented himself in NXT and made something of himself since leaving the NQCC. I love it. Makes me so happy. All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the recap portion of the episode. This last part will be where I ask my guests 3 questions. First one always ends up being the same every season. So the question for you is, what keeps you involved with wrestling? What keeps you locked in? Is it the stories, the characters, drama? What part of it is what keeps you interested?
It's hard to pick one thing. Yeah, I grew up a wrestling fan. I don't know. I love everything. The characters, the storylines, like even just knowing wrestlers, like when they show a little bit of their real selves, like so interesting to me. And I just also love the business. So it's like, I don't know, there's just so much that I like love to do and see and experience going to shows, right? So it's like, I don't know, I'm never bored.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I don't care, I'll watch whatever.
It's like, I love the business. Don't even care who's wrestling. Just put it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Love it. Heck yeah. All right. So second question. When was the first time you ever saw Tama Tonga wrestle?
Oh, so I looked him up. So I was like in and out of wrestling, just kind of like reading stuff on Reddit, like keeping myself up to date, but I wasn't fully watching it when he was back in New Japan. But then I heard some things about him in 2022 to 2023ish that like he was supposed to sign with WWE. So I started looking him up and I was like, oh, who's this dude? Like, seems kind of cool. So I like watched a few. Yeah, I watched a few things, and then he wound up signing with WWE. So it's probably maybe around like 2023 when we started getting back into wrestling, that I had seen some stuff from him, and then it was just once he signed us, game over.
Move on. Tonga Girl Task Squad was created.
Yeah, so my husband loves it.
He probably gets a kick out of it. He's got it. All right, so last question. As you can see, your Instagram handle, most of your handle is I'm Just Saying. Shout out to Dragon Ball. I love, that's my favorite show ever, period. Like, I just don't care. Nobody can argue with me about that. So I wanted to ask you, since I know that you are also a fan of the show and the franchise, what is your favorite arc? Like your favorite storyline? What's your favorite?
Cell Games.
Cell Games? That was it for you?
Actually, I have some tapes over there. I don't know if
I see
on the camera, but yeah.
Nice.
That was when I first started watching it. It was airing on Cartoon Network, and it was the Cell Games. But it was like at the point where they didn't have enough episodes, so they would like start over from the beginning. But I was like hooked. Like I would skip dinner so I could watch, because it was 2 episodes of Dragon Ball, then 2 episodes of Dragon Ball Z back to back. And I would like beg my mom to eat dinner downstairs. Otherwise I wasn't eating because I wanted to watch. I was like, so like Cell was just so cool to me. And I was like, what is this? So skipping
that was
dinner.
Such a creepy saga though. Like the way it started was insane. Like it was just a bunch of dead, drained bodies laying everywhere.
Yeah, holes in the clothes and no people around. Yeah,
that was terrifying when I was a kid. That was so scary.
Cool.
Yeah, it was that, and then the androids when they killed Yamcha was like scarring for me when I was a child. But thank you so much for sharing and for answering those questions and for being here. This is the perfect time for you to plug yourself in. If you have anything that you'd like to promote, anything that you would like for people to follow you on, this would be the perfect time.
Well, I'm all over Twitter. So my handle is at I'm Jess _Saiyans, spelled like Dragon Ball Z Saiyans. It's mostly where I am. I don't really use a lot of other social media other than TikTok, which is only to watch Tama Tonga lives. So I don't post anything there. I'm also on the Dr. Huge show. Just a guest there every Tuesday, usually, sometimes Saturdays. We do wrestling podcasts as well, kind of chat about Raw and SmackDown. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here again. It is an absolute honor. Everybody say it. Bye-bye, Jess. See you guys. All right. Well, shout out to my guest, Jess, for coming through and blessing us with her presence to recap this week's NXT. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm super excited to see what's getting ready to happen next. I do have a surprise interview coming up this weekend with the one and only Harlem Lewis, so look out for that this Saturday. I'm super excited to share that with you. We had a great conversation. One more time, shout out to Jess. This is NXT with NaJee, a part of bodyslam.net and a part of the Whip Show Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast. You guys already know who I am, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye.
Never take my sunshine away, sunshine away. Never take my okay, stress, I feel, I guess can be revealed. My dollar's key, be real. Your lies you can't reveal, you know my pride. You hide, no reason left to cry, no reason left to die. You finally feel alive, okay, let's go.